Good morning and welcome back to the shed, everyone. I'm Lonnie, and it is time to get to work. Time to pull some eBay orders. And later on I'm going to list some more auctions and do all the stuff I do. Am I going to clean up that aisle? Maybe. Probably not. Probably not today, but maybe soon. But yeah, I made one. This actually took place a couple of days ago. This auction for this item right here that I'm pulling. This auction took place or ended a couple of days ago, and the person that won, I went and looked at their account, and because they hadn't paid, they hadn't said anything. I'd sent the invoice, and I went and looked at their account, and people had been leaving positive feedback on their account, but then it says deadbeat, beware, they bid and they don't pay. There's all this, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this ain't gonna get paid for then. And the winning bid was like, I can't remember, it wasn't much higher than what it sold for though. So as soon as I saw that they were like just bidding and not paying for stuff, you really should wait until you go all the way through the non-payment process. But I didn't want to wait that long, because the people that had, the other people that had bid on it, I wanted it to still be fresh in their mind and make sure they didn't buy it somewhere else or whatever. Like, the sooner you could strike on second chance offer, in my opinion, the better. So I went ahead and started firing out. It'd been 2 days since the auction ended, and I fired out a second chance offer, and the first person I sent the second chance offer to, they bid on it and they paid right away. So ended up selling this for $322.12 plus shipping on top. And man, that shipping is high unless it's a lot of tax. The sales tax on all this stuff totally throws me off now. I'm looking for the address. No, it's in the States. It's just a lot of sales tax. But anyways, yeah, so what is this? It's a bunch of stormtroopers. It's 36 stormtroopers, and the only thing I could figure, I mean, I haven't been rough on them or anything, but I am going to take them out and repackage them and wrap them all in bubble wrap, probably one piece of bubble wrap for each 3 or 4 figs, because there must be some expensive ones in here. Like, some of these guys must be expensive or something. Something is going on that made, I think these guys might be good. I'm really not exactly sure why these went so high. So anyways, ecstatic to get the money. But Star Wars fans, do you see any one particular stormtrooper in here that would cause this lot to get this much money? Because I think most of these, look, 2013 LFL LLC. So I mean, I don't understand. Ecstatic though. Okay, got that all packed and ready to go. Now the next thing, you know what, I'm gonna pull all these cars out, because I think I must have sold 10 of them. So let me pull these out so we can get a better look. Yeah, I went ahead and pulled them all out because I wanted to make sure I could get a good look at them. Some of them are really close. I wanted to make sure I pulled the right ones. All right, now these two were on one order to one person. One sold for $14.99, one sold for $9.99. I listed all of these cars yesterday, 15 cars, and I sold 8 overnight. And then on another order, somebody ordered 2000 model Batmobiles. These two right here, $9.99 plus shipping on top, a car. Roger bought 4 of these cars. He bought, I wrote it down real quick. All right, he bought this one. This is like one of the rarer ones for $34.99, $14.99, $14.99, and then this one was $24.99 for Mothmobile. So these cars are pretty popular. Oh, he also bought another pack of DVD-Rs for $5. So thank you very much, Roger. Really do appreciate all your business over the past few weeks. And finally, last item, is this model right here. Harry bought the last model off of the green shelf. So thank you very much, Harry. Hope you enjoy. And golly, I don't have very many models left, I don't think. I sold some models the past couple of weeks. Big time. I have this guy left, but it's not sealed. It's like one of those new, not sealed things. I think that's one of the few. No, I have a couple of, I still have some Batman stuff right here. Look, even this shelf. These shelves are getting kind of bare. I need to go list some more stuff, huh? But yeah, thanks again, Harry. Do appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna grab one more thing. This order came in just a few minutes ago, but I'm gonna go ahead and get it out now. Sold another one of these key fobs, $69.99 plus shipping on top for that. And that's gonna be it. It was a very good sales day. Very happy. Hope any viewers have bought stuff. Roger, who bought stuff? Roger and Harry are the ones I know of. Thank y'all very much. Hope y'all enjoy your stuff. From the post office, and I want to mention this. I got this package actually last week, and I keep forgetting to put it in a video, and I remember now, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. This is from Mark and Holly at Flippin' Chicken. I like that. So they sent me this really nice letter, which I'm not going to read the whole letter, but also included with the letter was this cool little postcard. This is actually a actually something he uses for ham radio, QSL card. So I guess whenever you make contact, well, it says in here, when you make contact with another ham radio operator, then you'll trade cards or something like that. He also said this is kind of a bolo too. A lot of times, probably at like estate sales and stuff, you can find boxes of these, and they can have some resale value. But this is his. This is Mark's QSL card, which I'll put up here on the door. Got a bunch of magnets right here that I'll hang it up here in a minute. But also, he was a geek, not an agent, for them before I retired. And I think by geek he means that like he worked probably with technology or radios or something to that effect, probably to do with his ham. That probably was the genesis of his ham radio hobby, I'm guessing there. But check this thing out. He sent me this challenge coin, Detroit Field Office, United States Secret Service. And then it's got like a Secret Service logo on the back. Really, really cool. Challenge coins are given in the military. Typically, that's where I know of them from. Whenever you do a really good job, like as an attaboy, when you do a really good job, a lot of times officers, especially generals, colonels, etc., they'll hand them out like as attaboys. Also, you'll find like we had a squadron coin when I was in, and you know, you trade squadron coins sometimes with other people in the military, like if you go on some kind of joint exercise or something like that. And then the way we used them is like if you're at the bar, at the NCO club or whatever, and or the E club, whatever you want to call it, and you're at the bar and you're drinking, and then all of a sudden somebody whips out their challenge coin and puts it on the table. Anybody that doesn't have one has to buy a round of drinks. Or I've also seen it where the highest ranking or the lowest ranking challenge coin, if it's from like an officer or something, lowest ranking challenge coin has to buy the drinks. You know, something to that effect. There might be different rules. But yeah, this challenge coin is really cool. Thank you very much, Mark and Holly, for the gifts, for the letter. Oh, he also mentioned about deoxit in the letter too. Let's see. Another thing is an excellent contact cleaner for electronics, deoxit, available all over the place. I actually have, I agree, I have a can of deoxit D5 right here. It's getting empty-ish. So I found it to be a good for all kind of stuff. Cleaning contacts, cleaning video games, cleaning potentiometers on stereos. I even sprayed some. My lock was kind of sticky and I didn't have any WD-40 handy. I even sprayed some in the lock and made it operate like butter. So I agree, Deoxit D5 is a good product. But anyway, thanks again, Mark and Holly, for the gifts. It's awesome. There we go. Got them hung up. Got the QSL card and the challenge coin hung up on the door. I hung this up with magnets. I bought a bunch of these Neo Medium magnets. I'm holding these socks up with them too. On eBay, these things are crazy. I think I'm saying that right. Neo Medium. These things are so friggin' strong though. It's ridiculous. So this is a really random, odd thing, but I'm taking photos of Hot Wheels and putting auction lots together and stuff. And I set my phone down, set up a car, just taking a shot right here, real simple. And I look down and look at this. Look at my camera. I'm like, what? What is that? It's a Post-it note that's in this drawer right here. Isn't that crazy? And the camera happened to be right on that little hole. And it's like peeking down in there. Well, good evening. I came back out to the shed for some questions. And sometimes this may be a little confusing because the state of the shed might not match what it was earlier in the day when you saw me pulling orders. And that is simply because for whatever reason, every time you watch a video now, the order pulling portion was usually from 2 days ago, and the QA portion was from the night before. I don't know why I'm doing it like that, but that's how it's been. But let's get to some questions. Alrighty, first one. And yeah, shipping always seems to be one of the most popular topics, for good reason, because shipping is something we have to do to fulfill all these orders, and that's where you can really make or lose a lot of money. Like if you don't do it right, you can disappoint your customer. You can lose money if you don't ship it the correct way or plan for shipping the correct way. So it makes sense. And there's so many options, at least in the United States, for shipping, and some are really good options and some are horrible options. Like horrible option, the flat rate game box. it gets billed at like a large flat rate price, and it is like one of the most horrible options there are. There's probably 10 different ways to ship better than large flat rate game box, except for some rare instances. So there's always exceptions, right? But anyway, this question is from Josh Nunez. Once again, how can you ship 2 action figures for $9.50, but you're shipping 41 locks? It wasn't 41, it was actually, I think, 7 locks. That must have weighed 20 pounds for $7. So it's a good question. It wasn't 41 locks, it was 7 locks, but it was very heavy. I think it was probably, those locks probably weighed a good 5-6 pounds, which is a lot because they're dense, you know. And it's a fair question. And remember, whenever you see the little thumbnails of stuff that I'm shipping on the screen, you're seeing the price that item would cost to ship to my next door neighbor, because I'm looking at it and I use calculated shipping on most stuff. So it's actually gonna, in that view, it's actually gonna calculate the shipping to myself. So you're seeing the absolute lowest calculated shipping it could be. Now in the case of some stuff like media mail or flat rate products, it's gonna show the same no matter what, because that is the same everywhere. Media mail ships at the exact same rate no matter where it's going in the United States. So anyways, the question was 2 action figures for $9.50, locks 20 pounds for $7. Okay, simple. Action figures, 2 action figures are gonna have to go in a box, and I don't know which action figures you're talking about, but it doesn't really matter. They're typically gonna have to go in a box, and depending on the size, they're probably just gonna have to get shipped by dimension / weight, right? And that's usually going to be you know, if it's 2-3 pounds, you're looking $8, $9, $10, right? That's just what it is these days. But the locks I was able to fit in one of these, and excuse me, if there aren't too many absolutes when it comes to shipping, but in the United States, if you have something that weighs over a pound, and well, even this isn't an absolute. If you have something that weighs over a pound and it will fit in one of these safely with, you know, and you can protect it and it's not going to get damaged or anything, it's really hard to beat one of these. Now, they make paper versions that are a little cheaper. They also make the legal flat rates. They have flat rate, they have legal flat rate, and then they have padded flat rate, right? All of those, if your item can fit into those, and you can secure it and pad it and all that sufficiently, and it'll make it fine, these are almost always just an excellent deal. This is one of the best deals the USPS offers for shipping. And I believe you can load this up. I think you could put 70 pounds in here. I think the max weight, I can't, I might have to look online for it or something, but I'm pretty sure max weight is 70 pounds. So anyway, that's how I did it. The locks went in one of these, so I was able to ship them for $7.50 or whatever the heck it is. Okay, here's a question from Robert French. Hey Lonnie, I just bought a huge lot of NES games, gonna do well on them, but I was wondering how long the bad titles sat for you when you bought that NES lot a while back. Thanks. Okay, so he's talking about, I think it was over 250 NES games last year, and I paid $1,000, and there were titles that were worth $5 in there, and there were some titles that were worth 50, 60 bucks, all in between. I would say a vast majority of them, probably, if I had to put like an average on it, I'd probably say the average game was worth about $9. Wasn't it a home run kind of deal? Nah, it wasn't. Did I make some money? Yeah, I made some pretty good profit on it. Was it a lot of work? Yeah, pretty good bit of work. And my recollection, okay, because I'm not looking at numbers or anything like that, and it's the way a lot of this kind of stuff does. In the first, like if I list a big lot of stuff that's fairly desirable, like for instance, as long as you're not dealing with something that nobody wants, right? So like, it's like these things. I think I started with like 60 of them. And how many do I have left now? 6, 10, 13, 18, 20, 25, 30. I've got roughly half of them left now. So I've sold through about half in whatever it is, 2 months, I guess. I'm kind of losing track of time lately. But the way I kind of remember that NES buy going was, after a month, I probably had roughly half of them sold, and then after 2 months I had 60-something% of them sold, etc., etc., etc. And then until like maybe a year later, I was selling the last title. So in the first 6 months, maybe you sell 75-80% of them, and then the next 6 months you sell the rest. That's kind of been my experience anytime I buy a big lot of something like that. But the good thing is, your good titles, your better titles, the ones that are actually going to get your money back the fastest and put you in the black on the deal, they are actually not going to be sitting there. They're going to sell the fastest. So, you know, hopefully you do well on the deal. Video games right now are selling pretty fast, even kind of crappy titles. So yeah, best of luck. But yeah, it's always like, when you list them all, you're going to sell half of them in maybe the first couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks or a month. And then you'll start getting diminishing returns as your stock diminishes too. This is from Flip Mode. Are you going to get some of that stimulus money for your small business? No, I didn't apply for it, and I don't think I would get it anyway. I think it's all gone now, right? Hasn't it all been lended out already? I didn't apply for it. And honestly, I have had zero slowdown for me because I had stock. Actually, sales are up a little bit month over month, actually a lot month over month, because all I'm doing every day, I'm doing 3 things. I'm listing stuff, I'm shipping stuff, I'm making videos. There's zero time spent sourcing, right? So I haven't had a negative financial impact, at least yet, because I have plenty of stuff to list, and hopefully it stays that way. But no, I didn't apply for it. I didn't get it. Don't need it. Don't really want it. So yeah. Andrew T said, when filing an insurance claim with FedEx or USPS, can you include the price of shipping in the claim? I believe whenever you make the claim on USPS, it actually says not to. I haven't made a USPS claim in a little while now, but I want to say it says not to include the postage in the claim. Now, having said that, have I included postage in the claim before? Yes, I have. matter of principle with me. If you fail to handle the package properly, I want the postage back. So I don't feel like I'm committing fraud by doing that. So I do it. I have done FedEx before too, and have put that into the claim, and they've paid it. So is USPS. So yeah, should you? I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to. I think it says not to. Let me go look. All right, I'm not going to put too much time into this, but I'm looking at this page here, USPS.com, domestic claims, the basics. And the only place it mentions it is postage and insurance reimbursement. Postage reimbursements will be included with the claim payment if the item was lost, which leads me to believe that it won't be included if the item wasn't lost, but that's an assumption. Insurance fees cover the cost of the insurance and are not reimbursed. Okay, so it doesn't, that particular page, it's got to be in the DMM somewhere. I'm not gonna research it, but I think whenever you file the claim, it actually tells you not to include that. Question from hoarder to reseller. Do you have USPS, UPS, FedEx to pick up your shipment or drop them off at their location? Pros and cons. All right. Well, I did used to do a daily USPS pickup. I would schedule the pickups out 6 months at a time. I think that was the max at that point. And I would just punch in like whatever, you know, 8 packages or whatever. They didn't really seem to care how many packages I had, as long as I had enough packages to make them come pick the stuff up. And that worked really well for a long time. And then I got new people on the route. They kept switching people out, and I think in like a 2-month span, I had 4 days where the packages were not picked up, and they would pick up, typically they would pick up at like 4:30 in the afternoon, which happened to be the same time the post office would close. So by the time I knew they had missed the pickup, it was too late for me to bring the packages, right? So a lot of times I'll talk about, you know, how I don't like to worry about things that I can't control, you know, policy changes and this and that. I don't get too hung up on that kind of stuff because it's out of my control anyway, right? Well, shipping and getting the stuff to the post office is in my control. I have a vehicle and I can bring the stuff there, and I can make sure that it gets to the post office. So at that point, after that last time they missed the pickup, and I had been on the phone with the 800 number, I talked to the postmaster, all this stuff, right? I've been through it. They were sick of seeing me complaining up there. And finally, I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I've got to find some peace. I've got to find some real reliability, and I'll just bring the stuff myself every day. It kind of stinks because it's a waste of about 25 minutes a day for me to bring it versus having them pick it up. But I'm dead certain that the packages go out every day. I don't have to worry about it. It used to like stress me out. I worry like, where are they? Where are they? It would suck, you know, because there's a lot of stuff that's important whenever you're doing like an online resale business, But number one, if you look at your positive comments or positive feedback on your eBay accounts, I think the comment you'll see the most often that people are happy with, a lot of times it's the quality of the product, or it's a great condition, blah blah blah, right? But even more than that, they talk about how quickly it got to them. Shipped fast, I got it faster than expected. You know, you see those kind of comments all the time. So I take shipping stuff out quickly extremely seriously, and if it's in my control to make that happen, then I do it, and it is, so I do. So that's why I don't let my carrier screw that up for me anymore. Now, if you have a good carrier and they pick them up, well, that's a huge time savings for you, and you're fortunate, and you should utilize that. I don't have that right here. Now, as far as the UPS and FedEx goes, as far as I know, to have UPS or FedEx pick up ground packages, you have to have an account with them that you pay for. You have to have like a pickup account, monthly or daily pickup account that does cost some amount of money. I used to have one years ago when I did resale on a part-time basis. I had a UPS World Ship account, and I don't know how much it was, 16 bucks a month or something. They did a daily pickup. But in my case here, I'm shipping heavy ground packages, big packages, UPS. It's right across the street from the post office. There again, I could just drop it right into the UPS store there. No big deal. But yeah, if you have dependable carriers, then I most definitely recommend using them, especially now, because because of the C word thing. The less contact you have, the better. So I mean, I scurry in, drop my stuff, scurry out as fast as I can, and they do a great job in the lobby. I've just had poor luck with carriers actually at the house doing the pickups. All right, Victor Martinez wanted to ask if you can show us beginners how to print a label for poly mailers. Well, I mean, you print a label for a poly mailer just like you would if it's going to go first class. Then you're just going to print a first class label just like you would any other first class package. I'm not going to show that, but I will give one little piece of advice. If you're shipping poly mailers, put the poly mailer and the stuff that's going to go in the poly mailer on your scale, but put the stuff that's going to go in your poly mailer on top of the poly mailer, and then weigh it. Then print your label. Put the label on the poly mailer before you put the stuff into the poly mailer. It's easier. You can lay it down nice and flat, smooth it out real good, because once you have a poly mailer stuffed with stuff, it's harder to, like, you'll end up having like wrinkles and stuff in your label. But yeah, that's all I can say about that. All right, changing gears here. Question from Andy Someta. What's your favorite new wave band? Okay, that is very difficult. I love new wave music. I love it. I like a lot of it. And there's a lot of new wave had a lot of one-hit wonders but there were like really good songs and you never heard from them again. There's probably more one-hit wonders in new wave than anywhere else. But probably my all-time favorite, I would say, is probably The Cure. Talking Heads is way up there. I like them a lot. New Order is way up there too. And I guess, I'm not even sure if The Clash is probably not even new wave. And The Clash is kind of punk rock, pop punk rock, sort of new wavy, I guess. I don't know. But I do like The Clash. And then I guess Depeche Mode is maybe kind of at the end of the new wave thing. I don't know. What's yours? All right, gang, that is going to be it for tonight. Guess what? We're going to boil crawfish for a third weekend in a row tomorrow. Already have them. We picked them up today. Going to boil them tomorrow for lunch. Tomorrow being Saturday. So we're going to enjoy those. Don't worry. If you're squeamish, I'm not going to show footage of that again. But yeah, they do get boiled alive, but they get eaten dead, and they're very delicious. just a way of life around here. I don't know what to tell you. Like, we boil stuff alive, shrimp, crabs, crawfish, a lot of other stuff. It gets boiled alive, and I've been eating that kind of stuff for 40 something years. So anyways, hope y'all have a great weekend. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see y'all again soon. Bye-bye.